Alright, yo, what's up, It's about that time. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, you best believe it, we ain't lying, we ain't gonna tell you nothing that's gonna lead you astray. It's Black Lightning, things fall apart. This is gonna be an interesting episode. So, before we get started, of course, you know what I'm saying? I'm NERDSoul, but I'm joined by an enigmatic character right here. All right. He is not only the current world record holder, all right, of the best opening monologue for the Grammys, the Oscars, and the Golden Globes. He's also a true patriot, having 3 Purple Hearts. I give to you Clement Bryant.
See, again, you lie to the people. Like, lying to the people is not a good idea. Okay.
You gotta give him the truth, man. You gotta give him the truth.
I ain't the truth. I ain't the truth. I am one lone black man trying to keep his job. One late breaking work text.
So, with that said, while he's checking that, the special part about this episode is that in this episode, Clement Bryant has not seen it. We're doing something new.
In my defense, it has been a week.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week.
I think this is like, I think we can't. I think we can't do this episode without acknowledging what happened on Tuesday.
Yeah. So I wanted to get into that as well. So Tuesday, of course, we finally got a verdict in the Chauvin trial. The trial, of course, where Derek Chauvin basically just cared less about any human life and killed George Floyd. We finally have him guilty on all 3 counts, and he was reprimanded straight into custody. He'll be facing sentencing soon. I'm hoping for the max. I don't want to see no 2-year mess. I want to see full up max. I don't know how many years, but a whole bunch of them. All right, double digits, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever years. All right. But anyway, he was remanded in custody. So there was some justice seen for that issue, for that incident.
Yeah.
Then we also had a situation that isn't exactly the same, but we still lost another life in an incident with police on Tuesday during the time where the verdict or whatever was being read. So to Ma'Khia Bryant, the family of Ma'Khia Bryant, I know, of course, the situation is not the same. The circumstances aren't the same. But, of course, losing a life, especially so young, is still, it's tough. It's tough.
Bro, after the verdict got announced, I logged offline for, I want to say maybe off of work for 45 minutes. I would just put up my Slack icon and being I'm at lunch. And then I came back, and then not even 15 minutes after I came back, I heard the news about Ma'Khia Bryant, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So it's I think at least for me, I after I was done with work that day, for the first time I want to say maybe in 2 years, I didn't look at social at all, and I work in social, so I didn't work it. I look at social from 7 o'clock that night to 9 o'clock the next morning. And so because I really needed to decompress about just everything that was happening. And I think sort of reason I'm still experiencing it. So it's kind of why my week is off, which is why I haven't watched Black Lightning. But it's not that I use an excuse, but I'm just talking as far as mental state this week. It's trying to focus on anything else other than what's been happening in the world has been super hard, But yeah, I haven't watched this episode of Black Lightning, so I need to watch it.
What we're gonna do is I'm going to review it with you guys. Y'all going to throw in y'all favorite moments, what's important to y'all from this episode, and I'm going to tell Clement what happened. All right. So I'm going to start with this.
Tell me what happened.
Structurally, this is probably the best episode of the season, and this should have been episode 1. This should have been the first episode of the season. We could have given people like a little visual montage like they did on Incredible Hulk, or we could have did like a little voiceover or something to give them like what happens between 1 and 6, because not much happened except the Jen thing. But I mean, Jen, the original actress could have been then and could have changed over later, or they could have just recast it before they started shooting. But anyway, this should have been the first episode because there's like mad plot lines, storylines, all that mess that's introduced here. And I'm like, y'all know y'all only got like a couple episodes left, right? Like, y'all know there ain't too many left up in this piece. I don't know, like y'all doing a whole lot right now. So structurally, I think it's probably one of the better episodes this season, maybe the best. I think it should have been episode 1, and pretty much solid on the fight scenes to a certain degree. So I'll go in and jump into, Jesse King said, before it even starts, I just got to say there are too many plot lines this late in the game. Just what and why.
I guess that's what you're kind of saying too, right?
Yeah, it seems like this is like the first episode of the season. And then Andre Atkins says Gambi and Tobias have the best storylines this season. I probably agree. I think they might have the best storylines. I'm not really interested because they're not really doing anything with Jefferson Pierce except making him go down the same roads with Lynn again. Just to let you know, they had another pointless argument. It didn't go long this time. It wasn't long this time. But he went to apologize for something, and then she brought it was like she almost didn't even let him apologize. It was just annoying. I'm like, I'm tired of y'all fighting. I would like to see the family on one accord at least once in the entirety of the show. And it was annoying, but that did happen. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like they picked up a beef, but they put it down real quick. But we're starting to see like Tobias's plan kind of roll together, which I thought was cool. Is Tobias all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, you got the FBI coming through. They go and search Black Lightning's place. He been embezzling money. All right? They done froze all his assets, accounts. Of course, you know who set this up, your boy Tobias, but you finally see these little pieces coming together. Tobias is making his little mayor statements out in front of the city. And that's crazy because he's like, Freeland has fallen from grace. Even the principal is, you know what I'm saying? It's like he's really digging it into Jefferson. And he's like, but the thing is, we can get back up. We can rise again, kind of thing. And of course,
people like this.
I mean, they're super cheering for this dude. They're like really. I mean, they're eating it up. I mean,
they are.
Huh?
Of course they are. He's like Lex Luthor. He's like the Lex Luthor.
Yo, he kind of is, man. And the way this first episode runs out, it works for his character in a very good way because it shows that he's kind of really in control of all this. So you get that. You get a little more of, kind of like the Joey Toledo character or whatever, because they're like, all right, we know this dude killed the mayor. So that's another cool thing is seeing Gambi and Black Lightning seem like they're on better terms than they've been this whole season. This episode is we get more of a together vibe than I think we've felt in a while on this show. Between Gambi and Jefferson, between Jefferson and Lynn. They did have their little beef, but they let it go. And even with Jen and Anissa. So, we get a little time together where it's like, okay, cool. It feels better. The acting feels better. It feels like there's more chemistry on set, and that's just structurally from a writing standpoint, it feels better. We have a plot line, of course, with Ishmael, the homie coming through trying to assassinate everybody. His plot line's getting advanced, so I'm like, word. He finally like straight up attacks Anissa, and Grace is with her. Now, this is a cool scene. The problem is the fight is lackluster because I don't know what CW been trying hard to do these hallway scenes, and it's like you got to have certain choreography to pull these things off. And while the whole fight wasn't as bad as the fights before this, it was still lacking.
Wait, is it like they're trying to approach the Netflix Marvel hallway fights?
Kinda.
Oh,
like
you
like
can't.
Yeah, and then it's better that they leave them alone. So real quick to the chat, Justin King said, another thing I'm mad about is we spent 3 episodes and a fourth wall breaking to say this is the new Jen to have her be unstable after all that. Just what? Yes. So I was going to get to Lynn later, but unstable, just keep that in your head. Also, shouts to Silhouetted Animator for the $10 super chat. Says, did you notice the glow in the FBI agent's eyes? Yes, we were gonna get to that in a second too. When he turned around, he had that mental mind control stuff formerly belonging to Looker. Bear in mind, the metal stuff was taken by the now defunct ASA. So yes, because when the FBI comes, of course, this is part of Tobias' plan. He good. Tobias like, I'm, dance puppets dance. So FBI comes up, the dude turns around, turns on his little eye powers, and the FBI guys are essentially like drones when they come in. I don't even think they speak at all. So it's good to see this plan of his coming together. I just wish this was like episode 1. I do. Because I feel like episodes 1 through 6 could have been condensed into a montage, or could have been condensed into like a voiceover, and then for our premiere episode, just have it be an hour and a half, and condense those first 6 episodes into like 30 minutes or something, and then move on, because this is kind of what I wanted to see, and now we're so late. And someone in the chat, let me know how many episodes we have left. But I think we have 4 episodes left. Something like that.
Episode 8? This was the episode 8, right?
Yeah, episode 8.
Yeah, so we have
5 left?
13, about 5. Yeah, about 5 episodes left.
So we got 5 left. I feel like we wasted a lot of time for nothing. So we see that Tobias is controlling the money because TC goes to look into it, and he can't figure out how Tobias is doing it. That's one. Also, Tobias got the city on lock. You know what I'm saying? As the mayor, he's killing it. They all love him. Also, Tobias got the FBI and all that, the government assistance on his side. Everything's awesome for Tobias. That's how we should have started the season. Like, oh snap, Tobias is running everything. How do we stop him? Boom. Not 6 episodes of like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And then also step up your fight game. I don't know. I mean, there's stunt doubles, right? Where's their athleticism? Like, what is going on? But anyway, besides that, one thing I will say about the fight scene in this is that Grace comes through with her, kind of like animalistic powers. She's using them in a way where she doesn't have to turn at all. Similar how she did in the Akashi Valley or whatever. And I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I don't know if I like her using the powers. And I mean, of course, she probably does this in the comics. I've never seen her character in the comics, so I don't know. But I feel like she's very vixenish now. And it comes off like a vixen type character. And it just seems like a copy. But to that credit, with the power she's using of like the lion or whatever, because you hear her like growl, she doesn't seem that powerful. And this is going on with the comment of just saying, why is she so weak? Thank you. I'm like, hold up. Aren't you hitting him with like the power or the strength of a lion? Where's the strength going? Where is like, man, I don't know. So
I mean,
she's hitting Ishmael with like the power of a lion or whatever, but it don't seem like it ain't working on him. It ain't working. And somehow Thunder isn't using her like power punches and stuff during this fight, which is when writers conveniently forget power so that the story can happen. So
or they nerf the power for the sake of the story.
Yeah, it's like, it's like Silhouetted Animator said Ishmael should have called himself Plot Armor. Yeah, because there's a moment when he's like, he should have easily been either dead or captured. And like they stopped to be like, who is this guy? Just long enough to give him a second to throw off a flashbang grenade. Like it's annoying. But furthermore, I did want to step back. What is it? Andre Atkins says, I can't believe there's nobody else in Freeland who knows Tobias's real age and that he's a crime boss besides the Pierce family. Thank you. I wanted to get to that. So, Tobias is now putting his plan with the real estate stuff in order. He's like buying up all this land, kicking all the people out, and getting ready to build this hospital, which is a great thing because it's like, oh snap, this is a real danger. This dude controls everything, right? But the guy that was living in Pierce's house, he's like, yo, man, look, they came, they said they're gonna be tearing it down, but guess what? We just closed on another house. I'm about to pick up the keys because we all got money to move out. And he's like, hold up, word, you did? And of course, we know it's already Tobias at work. He has to play catch up, meaning Pierce. But my thing is this. Wasn't he around when Tobias was still a bad guy? Like, where are the people that's around? Because he even said he was like, he was like the albino guy, and I'm like, well, who is there anyone who? Because like you can go to any city right now, and there's someone who's like 60, 70 that's been in that city all their life. You know what I'm saying? You could go to New York, L.A., Richmond, St. Louis, Minneapolis. I don't know, Miami, any city, you're gonna find someone who's been there, who's born and raised and stayed there their whole life, and they can tell you mad history about that city because they've been there. And there's gotta be someone who's like, yo, Tobias is full of it. You know what I'm saying?
Unless Tobias is paying people off to kill the old folk. That's something he would do.
Now, if that's something he would do, show it. That would make him seem even more imposing. Like if you showed every couple of, like maybe twice a season, somebody try to run a story or somebody try to, tell people he's a charlatan or whatever, and they just disappear, like they get black bagged, that would be dope. But like it's like, yo, man, like don't everybody just trusting this man? Like everybody?
Also, it's a broadcast television show.
Yeah, I know.
It's like story gotta happen. It's maybe my tastes have changed that I've bellowed out on broadcast, like expecting like a ton from, but I'm also like this about Netflix. It's like I don't expect everything to be covered in media because it's like I'm gonna try to word this. It's every show is imperfect. There is not a perfect television show, whether it's streaming, broadcast, web, whatever, that is perfect. So I overlook some of those things. I don't overlook the important parts like plot structure or like something that is a wide open gaping plot hole, but like stuff that I'm just like, eh. And also it's kind of like the vibe is okay, last season, so they're not bringing it as hard as they would for the first 3 seasons. And I'm not saying that's what's happening in Hero Black Lightning, but that could be. You know what I mean?
True.
It's like, or they're holding back and for those last couple episodes, what they're gonna do.
When we don't care anymore?
Huh?
I said when we don't care anymore.
go out with a bang, I guess. But even like shows like Game of Thrones, which we know had a infamously let down season 8. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
but then again, I haven't watched this episode, and I'll have to watch it later this week when I'm at work. But like,
those are the main points. But then there are some finer details. You have Gamby still doing his thing, getting more and more information, trying to get the Prometheum. It's Prometheum, right? I think it's Prometheum, to be able to kind of like protect the Peters family with their suits, because of course the new guns ain't no joke. So you have him dealing with old girl, his little flame, his old flame / current flame. He's dealing with her, kind of like, getting the Promethean. So you got that. Then on the flip side, you got, of course, poor TC. You know what? I'll talk about TC in a second. All right. So you got
TC.
Anissa at the hospital, still like the most fashionable doctor in the world. I don't know. Doctors don't dress like this, all right? They don't. You ain't gonna be a doctor wearing the flyest fashions when someone might puke on you that day, man. You don't want to take that chance.
But that's also Anissa's bag, right?
Yeah, I guess we'll give it to her.
This is gonna be that funky doctor. She's gonna be the whatever role she's in.
She's gonna be the opposite of Patch Adams or something.
Right. She's gonna be her. She's unapologetically her. And that's what I like about this thing. She's unapologetically her. She's gonna do her whether she is at work, at home, or in the field as a superhero. She's gonna be doing her 100%. Yeah. So,
and it her little story opens up something very interesting, because there's a lady that's pregnant, and she comes in, she's like, hey, I got cystic fibrosis, but it's all good. The other doctor already told me, they're going to heal me, patch me up, all that stuff. So she speaks to the doctor. She's like, yo, man, like, we can't fix cystic fibrosis. It can't be done. He was like, oh, snap, while you were gone, you didn't hear there's this company, and guys, I forgot the name of the company. Let me know what it is. But the company, I can't think of the name of the company, but there's a company that, of course, Tobias is working with. But anyway, we don't know. She don't know that. Anissa don't know that. But he's like, this company, they've isolated the gene. We can take it out. We can fix some cystic fibrosis. All we have to do is just send the pregnant women to them. And I'm like,
okay.
They're about to be experimenting on mad babies.
Okay, now
Monte Vista. Thank you. Gamby's girlfriend's joint. Thank you. I knew it was something with an M, but thank you. So, we just gonna send the pregnant women over there. They fix it. It's all good. I'm like, y'all gonna be experimenting on mad babies. Just mad babies. All right. So, but it's good because we're getting all this plot, and it's like, oh snap, things are getting set up. But then you're like, hold up. We wasted 7 episodes. And I'll say why we wasted 7 in just a second. So, all right, you know what? Maybe 6.5. But all right, so anyway, with TC, he's trying to figure out what's going on with Tobias. All right. Word. He gets on Skype with who else? Khalil. Why? Because Khalil know about Tobias. They going to trade notes. They talking back and forth about how Tobias used to work. He used to collect money. He all about money. This, that, and the third. I'm like,
that's cool.
Why is this better than how you handled the actual Painkiller episode? This should have been episode 1, and then Painkiller could still be episode 7.
Respectfully, I'm gonna disagree. That Painkiller episode was dope.
No, I said Painkiller could still be episode 7.
And wait, what?
Painkiller could still be episode 7. Just have this be episode 1. Like, so Painkiller could still have his own episode.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have to be rewritten, but he could still have his own episode. And also with better fight scenes, because the stuff they did was not worthy of Khalil. But anyway,
you going in tonight. You feeling fresh.
So
you drinking the haterade, bro? You drinking the haterade?
Got the haterade. But I do have, I have good notes. Like, this episode is an episode that I think should have been the first one, because I actually like this one. But the way the plot lines are laid out, it feels like a season opener. And then when you realize, oh, there's only 5 left or 4 left, you're like, hold up. Why we wait this long to do something?
Right.
So, all right, there's one more thing with Gamby, him and Lynn messing around, experimenting on stuff, don't know what you're doing. She gave him the meta booster. And,
Oh.
When she's talking about how it should feel, he's like, I don't feel nothing. I don't understand. Later, we find out, guess what? He's a nullifier. So whenever he around people, their powers don't work. So I'm pretty sure they're setting this situation up to where Gamby won't be around to help somebody and they'll end up dying and he'll feel bad because he couldn't be there, whatever. I don't know. But he's a nullifier now. If he's around, you can't do nothing. You ain't got no powers.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's good and bad. I mean, if we get him next to the bad guy, it's good. But then I can't fight the bad guy because then I ain't got no powers. So
Right.
Well, no, I guess it's still good because then I could square off on him one-on-one. But he can't use nothing. Like he just got to come with his own skills. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. So, but lastly, I wanna give love to my boy TC. Jin, fake Jin, I mean, well, real Jin, but, different Jin, JJ Jin, has to go to school. And, I mean, Principal Pierce in trouble. He can't go back to school right now. He under investigation. TC shows up to the house. He's all nice to her. He's singing songs and stuff. You can see how he look at Jin like, TC love that girl. He ain't never gonna say it, but TC love that girl. So anyway,
but was he looking at her like family love or like
nah, bro. He wanna be with Jen. TC want Jen on his arm. All right, he wanna stroll through hand to hand with Jen. All right, I'm telling you, I could feel it. But Jen ain't even seeing this dude. Sad life, man. It's a sad life.
But also Jen in her mindset is probably going through a lot and she ain't even trying to think about it. When's the last time she thought about Khalil?
Hold up though. Because when they went to school, she saw her brother up there, you know what I'm saying, while other kids were trying to throw salt on her daddy's name. Another kid came in and was like, yo, y'all wrong. Don't talk about Principal Pierce like that. We don't even know the truth yet. Then all of a sudden she's like, oh, he fine. Where he at? No, really? She approaches the dude. She's going back and forth with him. And TC's like, this is interesting. Homegirl said, he was like, oh yeah, you new to the school. I can, show you around. She was like, good, because I was lost. I ain't have nobody to help me find my way or whatever. TC was like,
wait, for real?
He was like, you thirsty. But that was funny. TC told her he was thirsty. It was funny. But yes, TC definitely wants Jen to be his girl. This is why I feel bad for TC.
I mean, I feel bad for TC just like since he came on the show.
I've been TC, yo. Real. In high school, I've been TC. There's a young lady that will remain nameless. I knew her ever since she had those little jelly sandals. She had those little plaits in her hair with the beads all the way, a whole bunch of beads just clinking around her head since she was little, man. This is like third grade. I was TC, yo. I was TC. We grew up together. I was like, oh, snap. I'm all about this girl. I didn't have the heart to say nothing. Then I said something, and I still I got rebuffed, but still, don't worry about all that. Point is, TC like her, and I hope that TC gets an opportunity to put that hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Be like, you my girl.
Why do you sound like you got 80s? You got like where you sound like a man out of the 80s with a catch-up line. With what is that catch-up lines? They you know what I'm talking about, dude. I'm talking along. I've been up,
girl.
You were like pickup lines. You wanted those pickup lines.
Yeah. And then Andre Atkins said Andre Atkins said they wouldn't let TC be with the girl he had a crush on last season either. True. Yeah, see, man, y'all foul on TC, boy. I'm telling you, man. It's a tough world. TC don't get no love.
I mean, we geeks get disrespect, right? get nothing but disrespect. Why you
Nothing
got
but
you about
disrespect.
to be sounding like Rodney Dangerfield right now?
Yep. Nothing but
Like,
disrespect. But
disrespect.
I will
But
say
anyway.
this. This episode structurally was the best episode of the first 6. I think this should have been episode 1. Painkiller still could have had his own episode. I would prefer it to be earlier, because we get realizations and stuff that the first 6 episodes could have just been. They could have been condensed. Like they could have had an issue. What they could have did in the beginning, montage is show the old Jen going up and dispersing with the particles, and then throughout this episode, have them plan to go up, get the particles, come back, and have her in the machine. And she could have been in the machine the whole first episode. Second episode, she comes out, we like, oh snap, and then kind of like play similar beats, not the exact same ones, but similar beats. And then we could have had more good story than the kind of like stifled running in circles story. And then we could have still had chocolate covered Incredibles. We just would have put it somewhere else. You know what I mean? We just put it somewhere else. And then not do anything whack about like trying to reference George Floyd or Breonna Taylor. Like just leave that alone because y'all did a whack job. So just do something else. But yeah, so that's how I'm feeling about this episode. It's cool.
Need
It
to watch it.
should have been the first episode, and then I would have wiped away the other ones. I'd have been like, nah, bro, just skip that.
Dang.
Be like, look, China, she went up in the air, she was using the powers, and then she got particleized. Then we had to bring her back together. We put her in, and the other girl came out, regular JJ, new JJ, she came out, and then that's just where we going to see episode 2 forward. This the new girl. So you know what I'm saying? That's how I would have run it. But Justin King said, I got to turn it in. I'll check the rest out tomorrow. It's all good because right now we're going to get into some news. So we're going to switch gears for a second. Get into some news. I know, you know what I'm saying, your boy Clement, but he been talking about the news in the streets. He be sending me links. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Bryant. You know what I'm
saying? I mean, we should probably also just keep it light because also tonight, Invincible is out, and Falcon Winter Soldier premiere or finales in a few hours. So,
and
but yeah. So I guess the thing is, Secret Invasion is coming out with the heavy hitters.
Yep.
Like they got Olivia Colman and Emilia Clarke. Like in the same week, they announced that in the same week. Like, wow.
I'm expecting some kind of surprise or something in the Black Widow movie or whatever. It's a lot of Secret Invasion news coming out before this movie. The only thing I can guess is maybe there's a post-credit scene. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we know the history of like Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character, Valentina, aka Madam Hydra, was supposed to be in Black Widow. aka Elaine, supposed to be in Black Widow before Falcon came out. So there is likely a possibility that cameo is probably still intact. Which is why they put Falcon before Black Widow. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Because Black Widow was supposed to come out last year before Falcon came out. So that's part of that. So that could be a thing.
Yeah.
And if the Thunderbolt storyline is happening, she probably figures into that some way, somehow. But like Secret Invasion,
I wouldn't bet against that.
Like Secret Invasion, dude, like they're hitting up A-listers. Like we're talking like, yo, the Night Manager, it came out in 2016, is one of my favorite limited series of all time.
And I think it's because they know I'm very interested. I think they know they got a home run with this, the whole way they're going to do Secret Invasion. I'm excited because the way they've laid the groundwork in the MCU, they're going to have to flip it, and I'm interested to see how they flip it. Like I'm always interested to see how they kind of like remix their own stuff.
Dude, they ideally, I'm not saying this is happening, but like they could ideally undo the deaths in Endgame and be like, whoever that was that died in Endgame was a Skrull.
Wow.
Think about it.
What?
Think about the like, or a character that's been around in the MCU since the beginning is a Skrull, and we're not talking a good Skrull. We're talking the evil bad Skrull.
Yeah.
Like, and also let's not forget, like they got what is it? Kingsley Benadir, I think that's his name, who was in One Night.
Yeah, Benadir or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably if they're going with the comic storyline and basing off of that, he's likely Clerk. Like, I'm just gonna call it what it is.
Then we have opportunities for Super Skrulls. We have
Clerk's Super Skrull, so like he's likely that.
Yeah, so we have a really cool opportunity to like flip it in a way. It's going to be interesting how they handle it, because from what we know, they're good. But I mean, they could flip the story and be like, that's the trick they do on every planet. The trick they pull on every planet is that, yo, we the good guys. Yo, these guys, they trying to harm us, man. They trying to harm us. Oh, we just looking for a home, my dude. We just need help. And then when you be like, all right, we gonna help you, and then they be like, chitty chitty bang bang. You know what I'm saying? So
that, and also like I don't know, but like it's either what is her name? Zoe. I don't hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Zoe Ashton, who's like supposed to be the villain in Captain Marvel 2, or it's Emilia Clarke, who is Skrull Queen Verniki, right? It's like it's got to be one of those two. And I'm trying to figure out who.
Andre Atkins says, what if the remix the MCU does is that the Kree are secretly there and we don't know?
I mean, probably. Well,
yeah, that could be a good way to throw it in there, where it's like, oh, hold up, what? But
I mean, like, they could, because now that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't canon anymore. Like, they haven't outright established that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't canon anymore.
Say bye.
Which is weird. Bye. But they haven't established if it's not canon anymore. The only thing we've really seen is with the Darkhold being in WandaVision, where it wasn't Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 4, but the Kree were here in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They were here. They've been here.
Yeah.
So, like, if they're decanonizing everything, Netflix, Marvel, ABC shows, or they're working those into that storyline. Because also, how do you account for, and I'm going to come back to the original point, but also how do you account for Kamala, who's still going to be Inhuman in the Miss Marvel series that's coming out this year. So like, it's like, I'm saying, like, if we're going to talk,
that's right, because they're going to have to do some. They're going to have to do some fast forwarding or something, because we don't even have Inhumans at this point. Or, well, I mean, you can always write the issue.
Route.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Or they go the multiverse route and they'd be like, okay, everything Netflix, Marvel, ABC shows run over Jeff Loeb are now multiverse, meaning that was a whole nother, the events of Avengers 2012 happened, but in another universe.
And then you could just say that, the snap happening, 3 times, because, I mean, they showed how the energy was weird, just snapping it once and then twice, even worse. So maybe the third snap was the charm, where like some people got displaced, and hey, guess what? You got Inhumans. Like they could do that without doing too much pseudoscience on you. And they could just be like, hey, look, they're here, deal with it.
But yeah, I come back to the point of like Andre Atkins pointing about the Kree, like, how are they going to bring that in? But like Secret Invasion, man, I just like, who else are they going to put in this cast? Because like, you got Ben Mendelsohn, you got Sam Jackson, Olivia Colman, Kingsley Benadir, and also now you have Emilia Clarke. Like, we're talking.
It's just weird because,
like, who else are they going on? Like, and also, like, does Secret Invasion play into like post Captain Marvel 2? That's also
that is another good question. Like, when does it fall? Also, because I remember way back in the series, it was a huge deal that they couldn't be detected, and one of the biggest signifiers was like, oh, Wolverine can't even detect them. So like,
Right.
like what? And I mean, it showed them kind of like, of course, they had kidnapped. It's that. All right. So to kind of give you a quick rundown, if you've never read Secret Invasion, they kidnapped a couple heroes basically to test and be like, yo, can you tell the difference between us and you and all that stuff? And they did all this work, but we haven't seen any of that. Maybe they'll do flashbacks of it. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But
Right.
then a big, huge indicator was like, oh, so Wolverine can't even like smell these guys or nothing. Like there's nothing, like they've got their science down packed, and there's nothing, there's nothing that can, identify them except when they rolled up on Wakanda. Whatever Wakanda had something where they were like, nah, we knew who was fake. Like T'Challa was like holding their heads up. He was like, nope, we knew, we knew for a while.
Dude.
So
like the whole thing, like, and that's what I'm saying. It's like the MCU is kind of taking its own approach to comic book canon. It's inspired by, but it's also like
it's making something new, which they should do.
Right. So I dig it. So that's why I'm wondering, like, what is Secret Invasion gonna be? Is it gonna be a limited series where it's just like Bad Scrolls exist, or are they gonna use it to be like how Winter Soldier changed the game in Phase 2?
Yeah, I mean,
like Winter Soldier, like pretty much still reverberates to this day.
All right, peep this. Since they know their whole schedule, and I know this is kind of how they do comics, they could do it in a similar way where there's Secret Invasion episodes 1 through 3. And then you have whoever ABC's movie, and their movie, kind of like a B plot of their storyline, is Secret Invasion. Right. And then after that movie, you get episodes 4, 5, 6, and then there's another movie that's like someone else's movie, and they're like, oh snap, a little bit more of the plot is Secret Invasion. And then after that, you get like, like a little like Disney Plus, you know what I'm saying, like 2-hour flick, where it's like, oh, this is like the culmination of, like, they could kind of like cross media like that, where it's like a cool way to like make that work. And that'd be fun to see. I don't know if they'd actually do it, but it would be fun to see.
I mean, dude, like they're doing what I always expected they would do.
Mm-hmm.
Like MCU they're really starting to like lean into what they're doing is they're taking the characters that are established on the films and bringing them to the smaller screen for more character-driven, nuanced stories, and then using, the films to bring in new heroes, like the Shang-Chi trailer. This week.
Oh yeah, Shang-Chi. Yeah. I have my feelings, but I don't. I have my feelings, but I don't have anything against the lead. The lead, pretty much a good 70%, like 80% of this trailer, I was like, word up. Man. And then there's one part of the trailer where I was like, ah. So, bro, there's no other Asian comedians, right? Or, well, no, let's be honest. There's no other Asian pseudo comedians. Like, yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said
it. We talk about it. It's like I ain't watching it for Awkwafina.
My thing is this. Awkwafina in an article said herself, she doesn't like people doing Asian accents, and she doesn't want to play up a character that does Asian accents. But somehow it was cool when you was doing the black accent to get on. I was like,
and this is like, I don't follow Awkwafina like that. It's like I'm aware of what she does, but I don't follow her like that. So like, I got my own.
You're not tainted.
I'm not even tainted. I'm just like, I just don't follow, like, I have no ill will towards her. I have no hate towards her. It's just more of, I don't follow her like that because I'm just like, you know what I mean? But like,
because see, when I see her, I like roll my eyes. See, when you see her, you're like, oh, it's just another person. So it's like
Right.
you're not affected yet.
It's like really. I'm more looking focused on the fact of they're doing Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in the MCU.
Bruh.
Like that's what I'm waiting for. Like Aquafina, cool. Like great, cool. But that's the least of the things I'm like paying attention to, right?
That joint was straight sweet.
And also, let me clarify: it's not because she's Asian. It's not because I'm just like I'm more there for the story of how it plays in the MCU, what the lead character story is, because this is a character that we've been waiting to see for a while.
It looks like she's essentially going to be old boy in Ant-Man. It looks like she's going to be that character.
Like we're talking like Luis.
Yeah, Luis. She's going to be Luis, and that's essentially going to be her character. And I'm just like, But the rest of the trailer though, was looking sweet. It looks like they got proper people to do the fight scenes. Fight scenes looked on point. They looked like they changed up the different fight scenes and like the forms that they were using. So I was like, word up, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. So, you know, I'm about 80-20 on it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 90-10.
I'm gonna go see it. And also I like the fact, like, I love the fact that they put it on what is it, Labor Day weekend that it comes out. So like they're already setting that up.
Yeah.
Be the movie that you watch.
And like, you know, the Labor Day weekend they'll probably make a good amount of money by Labor Day weekend. I'm not going to the theater on Labor Day weekend, but I know by then a lot of people will be able to. So that'll be a good thing. You know what I'm saying? They'll make money. They won't lose none. I'm be honest. I'm on that home life. I'll holler at y'all next summer. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what happens. Let's see, you know what I'm saying? Because they're already talking about there's like 4 different strains of COVID out there. Let's see how this winter go. I'll holler at y'all next summer.
I mean, I'm already like half vaxxed already. I got my vaccination a week ago, so like, and also like Widow drops on my birthday, right? So, yo, that joint vaxxed up. I'm gonna be like, I'm ready to go. Like that, like I wouldn't make it like I've been waiting for Widow because like Taskmaster is one of my favorite villains. So I'm like there, right? The joint drops on my birthday, so I'm super excited for it. Just the fact that I'm like, oh, dope! I have an MCU movie on my birthday. So I'm gonna be there in the theater, but like also like we gotta say, man, we gotta talk about like we're getting spoiled AF this year, just like MCU content, like
because it all got pushed back. So we got that, and what is it?
What?
We got that kind of like the new trailer of Loki, all that. So Loki's looking fresh and ready to go. But we also got the Disney deal stuff, the Disney and Sony deal stuff. So
wait, and we still haven't seen the trailer for Eternals yet.
Oh yeah, doesn't Eternals come out in like November or something like that?
Still comes out in November, bro. Like we barely see.
I guess because since everything's so condensed now, they can't ape one another. Well, see, Marvel's different. It's not going to be aping. It's just going to make people crazier for the content. It's not going to ape their own stuff. People are going to be excited for it all.
And Spider-Man comes out in December.
Wow. Everything being pushed back a year, like condensed this year with like mad stuff.
We're talking just MCU. We're not even talking like Fast and Furious. It's supposed to come out. Like, dude, like I'm sorry. This is like as much as like the last year has been a huge bummer for a lot of people, and a lot of people have passed away, and people have lost people. It's like, you know, we are getting spoiled with all this content coming out that's been pushed back, and to a degree, it's a lot. It's like for me, for someone who works in the entertainment industry, it's hard for me to keep up with all the stuff that's like getting pushed back, coming back. It's like it's a lot, bro. Like even Cruella, my girlfriend is super hyped for Cruella, and like I'm
not hyped for it because I know they're gonna be like, she wasn't really as bad as you think. she's not that bad. I'm like, no. They always try to do that with the bad guys when they do live action. They're gonna try to make her sympathetic. No, this woman wanted to get 101 puppies so she could skin them. All right. This
I mean,
lady,
that's
and she was
Oprah. We're
mean
not.
to that woman's husband. Remember when she came to the house? She was all disrespectful up in their own house. Yo,
I
nah,
mean,
man, she gotta go. She
do
gotta
you
go,
expect
son.
anything else from Cruella? Is what I'm gonna ask, right? I don't expect anything else from her.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, she had a tough childhood. Oh, like,
Anyway,
shut up.
Disney deal, Disney Sony deal. We should probably wrap up. What?
It's gonna be hot. Yeah, look, Disney Sony deal. Sony's gonna be bringing. They didn't really specify which extra content. There will be other Sony Pictures Entertainment content coming, but for sure you'll be getting the Marvel stuff on Disney. They're also doing a deal. It seems like a more robust deal for the Netflix side, but so it seems like Sony is saying, "Hey, for us, it's easier. For us, it's easier to just license our content out to Netflix or Disney instead of trying to make our own service." Probably because they like, look, we ain't got the ownership like Warner Brothers or Disney does. So, because like I said, the only other company that could try, which would probably be a huge fail, is something like Universal. But that's I wouldn't. I think right now we have pretty much what you'd expect to have. You have Warner Brothers has their thing. I still think HBO Max should be HBO and Cinemax, but they do have some of Cinemax's stuff. So I guess I'll let that ride for now. But with a name like HBO Max, you'd be like, dude, it should just be HBO and Cinemax. Just put them together. Like, stop. Make it easier for yourself. Make it easier for your programmers and coders. Make it easier all around. And you'll also provide more for the customer, because there was an article just this week talking about how people are preferring bundles, instead of kind of like the parsed out content. And I'm like, yeah, I said that like years ago when everybody wanted to have their own streaming service. NBC. But like, I said that years ago. I cut the cord to save money. All right. I didn't cut the cord to spend the same amount of money.
Right.
Like, it was to save it.
Like between I have HBO Max, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Netflix, and then my girlfriend share a Prime account.
All right, so and it's pretty about the same for me. I got the Disney bundle, Amazon Prime, because that's kind of more for shipping, but I mean you get it anyway. Then HBO Max and Netflix. I'll get Paramount Plus when Star Trek comes back. I'll get Paramount Plus. When it ends, I'll get rid of Paramount Plus. Like, I still have it. It's like
perks of the job, but like
it's perks of the job for you. For me, I'm like,
I got 5.
I can't justify this. Like, there's no Star Trek stuff on right now. I could say, hey, I'll keep it for Paw Patrol for the little guy, but you can see Paw Patrol on YouTube for free. They have the real world series going on right now, but I'm not super invested in it because like Becky came back acting like Becky, so I was just like, I don't need racial arguments from y'all. I got them in my own life. No.
Becky. Anyways, but so Sony and Disney had worked out. And like what I felt like happened, Disney found about the next Netflix deal and was like,
they were like, yo, look.
Because it wasn't that long after.
Disney's like, I must have more power. Like
that, and they needed the Spider-Man content.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man movies, Holland Spider-Man movies.
Because then that kind of puts their phases, that completes their phases. Like in their phase section for like phase 1, 2, 3, 4, that kind of completes those phases. You know what I'm saying? And so you got that. So that'll be good. As far as the Venom movies and stuff, I'm just like, nah, I'm not interested. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to one of the worst movie songs by Eminem. Venom. Yeah, that sucked. Anyway.
Hey, you on one tonight. You on one tonight, man. I
Yeah,
didn't
that
see
song
someone
was
angry
whack.
for a person in like I want to say maybe 6 months. Like,
Yo, that song was whack. The
like,
movie
I don't even
was.
remember it. I just remember it like at the end credits. That joint cranking that street pictures. I was like, all right, cool, and then I left. Like, it was just like,
all right, cool, bye. Like, the movie was like a little less than okay. Like, it's one of those movies like I can watch if it's on, but I'm not like, oh snap, where's the Venom movie? Like, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's on, I'll be like, all right. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
Nah.
But yeah, we should probably wrap up. Invincible, man. Invincible is like,
Invincible's gonna be out. I can't watch it tonight. I wish I could, but I might be able to watch it tonight. I'm gonna be busy tonight, but I have to be up early in the morning, so I might have to save Invincible and Falcon and Winter Soldier to tomorrow. Cause your boy got to do some stuff. Your boy has to do some stuff for a game show he might be on tomorrow. I can't say no more than that, but if he gets on, your boy's gonna be winning dollars. All right. I'm just saying.
What kind of game show is this?
Your boy, I'll tell you after. But your boy's winning cash. All right. But anyway. Oh man. Silhouetted Animator said 8 episodes is not enough for this season of Invincible. Yes, I felt the same way. I was like, hold on, we only got 2 left.
Wait, really? It's only 8 episodes?
Yeah, it's only 8 episodes, so we only got 2 left.
Word.
Well, technically, today we only have 1 left now. So, it's
wow.
But hey, half short, twice strong. You know what I'm saying? I've enjoyed this season. It's been a lot of fun. So with that said, we have exhausted the demons. We have exercised the demons. This weekend we will be talking Invincible and Falcon and Winter Soldier. And probably Mortal Kombat because on the low, your boy's been excited.
Yeah.
So
that drops this week tomorrow, bro.
If it's dope, we'll talk about it this weekend. If it's whack, I won't say a peep. So
dang.
Yo, you know I try not to trash stuff too much on the channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if it's whack, I'll just let it live. I'll be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We cool. But with that said, shout out to the chat. Vulcan, Silhouetted Animator, Andre Atkins. We had Justin King early. Big shout out to Silhouetted Animator once again for the $10 super chat. And Kevin Jones came through as well. Much love to all y'all. If I missed one of your names, the small names, so it's not on purpose. Just my eyes didn't see it. So right over here, I'm gonna let him serenade y'all on the way out. This man, all right, Golden Globe winning, Grammy nominated, Oscar winning, and of course, the illustrious winner of the Peabody Award, Clement Bryant.
No, and no.
I don't even know what the Peabody Award is. I just know it's an award.
Anyways, Clement Bryant, at Clement Bryant, Twitter and Instagram. Don't listen to Mike. You don't know what he's talking about. One of the hosts of the Black Lighting podcast and the Marvel Report. Anyways, signing up. Gonna go get some green juice and get ready for Invincible and Falcon and Winter Soldier finale.
Green juice, yes. You know what I'm saying? Get that green juice. Get your health on, son. So, of course, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Hit the thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Hit the thumbs down if you don't. But if you don't, I'm gonna send Omni-Man after you. And you know what I'm saying? Like, look, you might come up missing. I'm just saying, you know. Look, we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened to that dude that make outfits and suits for heroes. Just saying, you might get, never know. So we got podcasts if you want to listen. Of course, Spotify for that music. We're going to leave y'all with Arcatron and PL Parker Lewis. From us to you, we're just saying thank you and peace.
Peace.
We out.
I'm the man, yes sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money before I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. We still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dollars rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from under.